Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I know it has been a very long time since I've played anything, so let me go ahead and explain. Uh, I moved the last time we played games, and it's been good, but I definitely haven't had the time to set up shop. I mean, everything's set up, but I haven't really had the time to just sit down and actually record a video. I definitely can't live stream here because internet is relatively slow here. So, and I'm not complaining. I mean, I can at least still watch stuff, but uploads and stuff are pretty slow. Got to be courteous of when I do uploads because it slows down or completely stops the internet. Goodness. um, but yeah, so I just haven't had the time to, you know, get down and play games. Um, and at this point, uh, I've pretty much gotten to a point where I'm okay with it now. Um, for those of you who have been following me on Facebook, you'll know that I've been doing writing and stuff during the month of October, doing little short horror stories in the form of cell phone novels. This year I didn't complete it, and it wasn't because I got well, okay, I guess it was because I got lazy, but I just wasn't feeling it toward the end of it, or toward the halfway mark. I also started a new job, and it was a little stressful. Still kind of is, but yeah, I'm not here to talk about that. What I'm here to talk about is why aren't we going back to one of the older games, which you may be wondering, because we were in the middle of Metroid Prime 2, we were in the middle of Silent Hill 2. I think there was another game. I don't remember. The video footage is still there. Um, I just thought I'd ease myself back in. I definitely won't be posting videos like I used to, mainly because again the internet is a bit lacking here, and I don't want to stop anybody. Also, with my job, I'm on a swing shift, so when I get home to play games, it's usually at like 11 o'clock at night, and with school going on and me sharing the same room as my little bro who still goes to school, um, I cannot play when it's I can't even think of the word uh, when it's convenient enough for me. Technically, I could wake up in the morning and do it, but I feel like I've got quite a bit to do in the morning, and I have to tend to things and stuff like that. So yeah, I wouldn't expect videos all the time. It's probably going to be on weekends. I'm going to try and finish this one up tonight and upload it tonight. But, it is what it is. Anyway, instead of Silent Hill 2 or Metroid Prime 2, I wanted to do this Halloween night. But again, I didn't have the time. And honestly, it really wasn't convenient. I was also just kind of stressing out after the day of work. I work on plane parts and stuff for a place called Hexel, uh, which is cool. I don't mind the job. The pay is really cool, but it's definitely definitely a little stressful considering I'm working with like $10,000 parts. It'd be really bad for me to drop one of those or mess one up. So, but I'm working with it at one day at a time. Just until I can get classes and stuff done, so I can go ahead and start working on gaming stuff. Because right now I'm taking Coursera classes to get a certification for. Sorry if this is annoying, but I have to keep it moving. Um, Otherwise, it goes to the demo and it's really loud. So I'm doing Coursera classes to learn Unity, so I can jump into indie development for video games. I got a lot of ideas, and clearly making games, I feel is a much better way for me to make or to do stories and stuff. Because originally I was going to college to become a journalist, and I realized, the only jobs that really make money when it comes to, writing and stuff is journalism. But looking at, today's news articles and stuff like that, it's usually trying to push an agenda, and I, for one, am not really down with pushing political agendas and stuff. Um, Especially now, it's just so annoying, and it's always negative. So I'm pretty much, kicking that kind of job out of the way. Um, and I still want to bring stories to the world. So I feel like video games would be a really interesting way to go. So yeah, I work on those classes from time to time. So again, another busy thing. Basically, to wrap up the whole thing, I'm just really busy all the time. But I've definitely been wanting to get back to video gaming and stuff with you guys. For those of you who do watch. But with that being said, I need to shut up and start playing. So yeah, we're gonna be playing a game called Postal. Oh, there it goes. Basically, Postal is this somewhat, I would consider it a horror game. I mean, looking at the title and the menus and stuff alone, it definitely makes it look like a horror game. Basically, this game is a controversial isometric shooting game. Kind of like Robotron 64 in a way, except Robotron doesn't have mass murder. Uh, in fact, that game's the exact opposite. This game is considered very controversial because it involves it is a game about a mass shooting taken place by a man with severe schizophrenia, I think. But we'll jump into it. It's pretty cool. Sorry if the sound effects are a little loud. Kind of hoping that this comes out okay. I did a couple tests and I think I got it right. But anywho, yeah. So I wanted to do this for Halloween because I thought this would be cool. Um, it's kind of a spooky game, spooky concept, especially now with all the people talking about you know mass shootings and gun violence and stuff. Um, I for one think that the concept of this game is cooler, and I think it goes much deeper than just gun violence in the United States. Um, I like it because it takes you through the eyes of the shooter themselves, and while the story isn't like super uh, in detail in this, I'll kind of explain toward the end what's going on and stuff. But right now, all you need to know is that this guy is nuts and just got kicked out of his home, all that stuff. And he's trying to uh, stop this virus that he thinks is corrupting all the people around him. So, let's jump into it. Excess postage or postal is like all the game or all the levels all in one. Every mission starts with this little word thing or diary entry real quick. So I'll go ahead and read that. Home 10 17 97. Basically October 17th, 1997. The Earth's hungry. Oh, the Earth is hungry. Its heart throbs and demands cleansing. The Earth is also thirsty. So, this is Postal. So, as you can see, we're already kind of just thrown into it. You can grab a gun, stuff like that. Your goal is to take out all the quote-unquote hostiles, which in this game are the officers and stuff trying to kill you. As you can see, I took a shotgun shell to the face because I just stood there like a weenie. But fortunately, I have armor, like a lot of these 90 games. But yeah, your main goal is to take out all these guys. There are other quote-unquote enemies. I can't tell. Oh. You'll see that they're wriggling around on the ground. You can execute them technically, but I am not going to do that quite yet. I think I'll save that till later. Just kind of ease you guys in. I'll put up a disclaimer at the beginning of the video or whatever, just letting you guys know this is a bit of a rougher game. As you can see, though, you don't just shoot armed citizens and stuff like that. I'll comment on the voice acting here too in a minute. But you can. Your main goal is to take out armed forces in the area, so you can progress. But you can also completely wipe out the entire town, complete with unarmed citizens and stuff, which don't pose any threat to you, but you can still do it. It's kind of a messed up concept, but I always go for it because, first of all, I'm 100% completionist. As messed up as that sounds in this situation. But I also think this would be pretty much how a situation like this would go. I like to be accurate with games and stuff. So, anyway, as you can see up top, you'll see the population count, hostile count. Once you get 90% of the hostiles killed, you're pretty much able to leave by pushing a certain key. I'll go ahead and show an execution real quick, just so you can see it. Probably won't do it often because it's mostly just a gimmick. But anywho, yeah, so the entire area is completely cleared out. There are no more people. All that's really left is just to collect ammo and stuff like that. But once you're done, you get to go to the next area by hitting one of the F keys. I forgot which one. Hold on a sec. Fortunately, this game is pretty small and easily laid out. Gotta hand it to the developers, you know. It's a messed up concept, but it's easy to understand. F1. Okay. Anywho, once you're done, go ahead and hit F1, and you move on to the next area. The truck stop. October 17th, 1997. Blessed are the meek, for they make easy targets. I'll go ahead and go into detail on what all that stuff means later. For right now, let me go ahead and mention the voice acting in this. So, your character is technically two different characters. It's never stated in like the manual, as far as I'm aware. Ooh, that little grunt that he did there, the little "oh" sound, is the director of the company that made this game, running with scissors, named Vince Desi. I think. I could be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure it's Vince Desi doing the voice of the guy that you're playing. And then the voice, that really deep voice or whatever that you hear when he commits enough kills and stuff like that. Or if you just touch a weapon enough, or select a weapon enough, like...
Only my weapon understands me.
That right there. That is a guy named Rick Hunter. And that voice is supposedly either a schizophrenic voice or it's like a demon that's like possessed the guy. Hence why he's on this massacre. But I don't know. I haven't really looked too deep into it. But man, I forgot what I was talking about. Sorry, the guy going, "I'm already dead," kind of distracted me. I'm not laughing at the
Sissy.
gruesome amount of death and stuff on it, but I do think some of the little lines and stuff that they say are kind of funny. Ouch. Oh man, I'm horrible. Anywho, as you can see, there are a lot of people after you, and yeah.
Did that hurt?
I also wanted to play this game for another reason. The one of the 4 sequels just came out not too long ago. It's an alpha build, or not an alpha. I think it's a beta build. So it's not complete, but you know, for what they have, it looks really, really good. It takes, or instead of the isometric viewpoint that this game takes, though, it takes on a first-person shooter perspective, much like the second game, and well, I guess the third game kind of took a third-person perspective, but nobody likes that one. So. Yeah, I'm kind of messing around, just blowing up barrels. Oh yeah, you can catch people on fire. You can also catch yourself on fire, though, so be careful. But while you're running around on fire, you can also catch other people on fire, which is slightly an advantage. Although it hurts you, so you know, use it wisely. Yeah, I just like blowing up the barrels because it's fun. I think fire's kind of cool. Man, I am awful. This game brings out like the worst in you. I can't tell where that person is. Oh, they're dead. So yeah. That's pretty much this game. It's a pretty, like I said, it's a pretty straightforward game. Nothing, nothing too crazy. But, yeah. Anyway, next level. And then I'll probably call it at this point because the introduction was kind of long. But, yeah. The Outskirts, October 17th, 1997. The air ripens with the odors of the dead and dying. It smells like victory. But yeah, Postal 4 came out, like, I want to say 2 weeks ago. Very fun game. Postal 2 and Onward kind of have more of a dark humor type thing. And you don't even, the goal of the game isn't even to kill people in that one. In that one, or in all the other ones, it's kind of just an optional thing. It's easy to do, mind you, because you can literally just go to town with any weapon that you have. But it's not a requirement. I don't think you ever have to actually kill somebody to progress. You don't even have to kill like enemies that are actively trying to hurt you or whatever. This is the only time where it's actually like a thing where you have to, you know, kill armed people. Granted, they're armed, but again, it is kind of messed up because you are technically shooting cars and stuff. Pixelated ones. But again, I picked this game mostly because of the subject matter. Also because, honestly, I just think it's one of the more interesting games that I have. I enjoy the idea behind it. I think it's a really well-made game, especially now. Back when I first got this game, you know, the modding community wasn't all that great toward it. So, you know, right now you'll notice that, you know, I'm able to use a mouse. But when I first got the game, you actually had to use the number pad to use the aiming reticle and stuff. There was a mouse option, but it was awful. It is nowhere near as smooth as using the mouse now, and that's all thanks to I think community patches and stuff. I could be wrong. It could be the developers themselves, but I know that the community itself does a lot with the game nowadays, and that's kind of how they've set themselves up and stuff for future endeavors and whatnot. That's why they released the beta of Postal 4, so they could get insight from the people playing it and stuff like that. You could kind of compare it to Microsoft in a way, but the difference is, they're only releasing like a section of it at a time, which is fine by me, as long as they're working to complete the entire game, it's kind of fine. But yeah, right now it's kind of just a $17 demo. Not to not to say that it's a bad thing. It's just if it were a little bit longer, I'd be a little bit happier about it. But whatever. I still have Postal 2 and its expansion to play, and I still have this Postal game and the Redux version, which got released a couple years ago, I think, which is basically a remake of this one with, better textures, um, better everything, really. The only thing that I don't like about it is they kind of changed the story a bit, especially when it comes to the ending. It all pretty much comes to the same outcome anyway, but yeah, I just prefer the older one. I think the lower poly graphics and stuff make it look a lot more spooky. Anywho, we're gonna go ahead and jump to the next. Actually, might as well just save here, and then next time we'll go ahead and jump into the next mission. Oh my, that's a lot of Steam Cloud stuff. So. Oh, okay, they're just open slots. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and start from there next time. And, yeah. So, again, I apologize to all of y'all who have been waiting this entire time. I know I probably said around that time that I was going to get right back into it as soon as everything got set up. But again, I didn't realize, or I didn't really account for how slow the internet connection would be, and also sharing a room with somebody else, it kind of presents its issues when it comes to time and stuff like that. So again, I'll make these videos as I can. They'll most likely be done on the weekends. And I want to complete this game first before I jump back into Silent Hill 2 and Metroid Prime 2. Mainly because those are a little bit more difficult to set up. Also, my setup's kind of changed a little bit since the last time. I've got more consoles and better cables, so I'm kind of keeping my eyes open for component to HDMI cables, or just an HDMI solution for everything. Preferably without having to pay $150 for a GameCube adapter, which it's fair, but I definitely wish that it was a little less than that, especially for the N64 one. But Xbox One, I'm probably going to get an HDMI solution soon enough. Just depends on when it gets here and when it gets made. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I won't keep you guys for much longer. Yeah, I'll pretty much get back to those games. We'll go ahead and continue this next weekend, possibly earlier. I know this is kind of late, and you guys probably won't see it till tomorrow, but you know. Anywho, you guys have a fantastic night, wherever you may be. If it's night or day, just have a good time, and hope you guys enjoyed. So, see ya.